Hello everybody, well look what we got here to review today. The WEN 10-inch sliding compound miter saw. It seems to have a list of very impressive features on the box. The most impressive of them all is precision machined aluminum tabletop with cast aluminum base. So let's see what else it says. Here's the cutting capability, and it includes a blade wrench, 2 support arms, and a carbide tipped blade, and a dust collection bag. Here's what comes in the box. We've got our saw assembly pretty much fully assembled. We got the instructions. We got an Allen key. We got 2 metal brackets. We'll see where those go in just a minute. A clamp and a dust collection bag. Okay, I just set it up on my workbench. I guess the first order of business is we notice that the unit's locked. And right here, you see this knob. We pull it and then rotate it, and then it comes up. And that's actually kind of a nice little feature. Let me get a little close up of that. This knob, you can see how it has indentations, and it goes in for locking and out for unlocked. So that's pretty nice. Next, I'm going to install the material support arms. So we got the material support arms. There's 2 of them. I got Allen key, and there's a hefty Allen bolt here. We loosen this up, pop this baby in there, and tighten her down with the supplied Allen key wrench. Okay, also to be installed is the hold down clamp, and you can see it's kind of got 2 grooves here, and a clamp that you turn, and then of course there's another adjustment where you can go up and down along the shaft. So it simply goes in here. We might as well use the lower groove because it still seems to have a lot of height. I guess you can raise up even an extra inch. And then, so I can go up and down. Maybe we just get a nice high area because this thing has a lot of leeway too. So, well, should you want to hold down a piece of wood, there you go. I was not fully prepared for how big this unit is. I have the slide all the way back. It's just about to hit the wall there, and so that means the feet are just barely on the front of the work area, and this is actually a lot bigger than I was expecting. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I may have to make a special platform. I think it was really designed to be mounted on a special miter saw bench all by itself, because it really doesn't fit on a standard size workbench. This bag has 2 handles hooked up to metal clips. You can see those little metal clips, and it attaches without drama. So here's a huge disappointment I have. This cheap plastic sticker. It was already starting to peel a little bit. I pushed it down here to make sure it's all seated so it doesn't come up. But it doesn't quite align with the click points. You can see how they have like a very large gap here and a very narrow gap here. And apparently the guy who put the sticker on has it off by about a degree or so, 1.5 degrees maybe. So it doesn't actually read right, but luckily it has no indentations. You know, there's like an indentation at 50, 45, 30, 22.5, 15, and 0. But boy, that's a major disappointment. Speaking of major disappointments, look at this piece of plastic here. It's kind of a cheap, flimsy piece of plastic. And I don't know how long that's supposed to last, but you know, it certainly doesn't match the quality of the cast aluminum base. The unit locked on 0 degrees, and you can see the pointer doesn't quite say 0 degrees. But I think I figured out the reason why. Look at that thing. It's in there crooked. They don't have the pointer in there straight. So I think if I loosen that up and straighten it out, maybe the pointer will do better at getting the right number. Okay, here's what it looks like when I've got the pointer set at 0. But the first time I did it, I was kind of off. So I got a carpenter's square on here, and I made this thing to where it was even. And boy, talk about my disappointment even growing here. because it doesn't actually line up the clicks very well now, but now at least I got the scale calibrated. So I rotated this, hear the click. So I got to put in the click and then move it just to the left where it's at the edge of the click, and then it'll be right. But boy, actually it's a little bit more. But I don't know, boy, I'm less and less happy with this thing. For doing the compound angle cut, they have a locking lever, so now it's unlocked. This thing rotates, and by the way, I had to remove that material clamp. It got in the way, and I had to relocate it to the other side. This only goes one way, and then it clamps. Has a nice action. This is a nice cast aluminum handle, and I'm happy with that part of it. Here I got it set at 45, and it goes all the way to 45. There's an end stop for it. I got it set at 0, but you notice, I don't know if you can see this, but it doesn't say 0. Got it up against the 0 end stop, and of course the gauge doesn't say 0. But, boy, I mean, you'd have to be blind not to see this, but let me just put the carpenter's level in there, or the carpenter's thing. You see the big gap at the bottom there? There's about an 1/8 inch gap at the bottom of the blade, and it's touching at the top of the blade. So I'm going to adjust that end stop and see how it does, because it doesn't even say 0. Here's the adjustment screw or bolt and nut, the supplied 6mm Allen key, and a 13mm wrench is what we'll need to adjust this, and hopefully I can get it to where it matches the scale to say 0. There we go. I got my carpenter square on here flat, and now the blade is I adjusted it till the blade is exactly right, and now I'm going to calibrate the end travel screws, and I'm probably going to have to readjust the pointer. Hey, let's see how accurate this thing is. I got the base leveled. You can see I've got a level on the base. See what the level is on? So anyway, basically I used the carpenter square, and as I would loosen it and then put it up against the stop and then measure it, and if it was off, then I would change the stop. And now I've got pointer. Does it look like it says 0 to, I think I'm going to have to give it just a little bit more of a touch. But anyway, boy, what a pain in the ass. This thing seems to have a lot of play. Boy, I don't know. And now that I readjusted the pointer to read correctly, you can see 45 needs to have a little adjustment here, and I'm going to have to rely on the gauge for that. Now on the side, you can see one more little adjustment thing here. You can see there's a little screw and a lever that goes back and forth. Let's put it down here. So when it's to the right, the blade goes all the way down. When it's to the left, it stops the blade at a certain distance. One more button is the blade lock. You see this black button, and basically you hold it down, rotate the blade, and then you hit a spot where it locks the blade, and then you can remove the blade. Last adjustment is the slide lock. And if you don't want this thing to slide back and forth, you lock this thing and it keeps it from moving. The tungsten carbide tipped blade looks very nice. No complaints there. It looks like a nice blade. Okay, I bolted it down to the workbench. Pretty good. Beautiful smooth cut. See, this is some old scrap flooring, but you can see it's beautiful stuff. There's not any chips. There's not any dings. Of course, that's due to the new carbide blade. Okay, now we got it at 45 degrees. Okay, I figured it out. This stupid thing is in the... Okay, well, now with the clamp out of the way, let's just see what happens. That was a... Oh, there it goes. Well, you know, I think that clamp is just getting tossed. It doesn't seem to be of any use. Okay, I cut some 45s, and I got these two pieces of wood up next to each other, right up against the square. And they don't quite line up. Kind of see they're hidden. They have a gap. And I had it right on the 45, so I don't know, maybe I need to do some more adjustments on this, but I don't know what the hell is up with this thing here. Let me go try it with a different saw. Here's my old Delta saw, but it wasn't a sliding saw, and like an idiot I was thinking I should have gotten a sliding saw. And boy, when you put this thing on 45, it is a solid 45. I have it set at 45, and I mean, there is no gap at all. And it goes there, the notch goes in there every time. And I am beyond disappointed with this thing. I mean, I redid my experiment with the Delta saw. Whoops. Anyway, it's you can see how perfect that thing is. You know, you might be able to see, I mean, just a touch of a gap in there. I mean, I don't know. But it's 100 times better than this piece of junk. Boy, I mean, I just don't know what to do. I think I'm giving this thing a fail. I'm giving it a complete fail. It doesn't do the job it's supposed to do. You can't trust it. You can't trust the settings. And I'm going to just have to sell it and take a loss on it because it doesn't do the job.